What are you thinking?
Don't you think the closer we are to the answers, the more questions we get?
That doesn't make sense.
Yet, it does. Don't you know about the dark matter?
Oh, yes, I've heard. Dark matter is one of the biggest mysteries of the astronomy today.
Me too. It just made me think how our findings actually lead to more mysteries.
Yes, that's correct, like the dark DNA.
Let me elaborate. This mystery has caught its interest in animal life as well. Some animals' genomes have missing parts in their DNA which is thought to be important for their existence. This apparently missing part of DNA has been dubbed as dark DNA.
It raises some fundamental questions about genetics and evolution while simultaneously considered the driving force of evolution by some.
Dark DNA may be more of a blind spot of our DNA sequencing technology than anything else.
When scientists were investigating the certain genomes of birds and rodents, they noticed something odd. A sequenced genome means everything is known, but certain sequences were missing.
Which was weird because these DNA sequences were very important. They control the production of leptin in the birds.
Or the secretion of insulin in the rodent genes that the scientists knew had to be there.
Otherwise, they would have been some mightily obese birds.
And dead rodents on their hands. The scientists studying the rodents found the products of the missing DNA sequences in their cells. So they realized that genes weren't missing but somehow hidden.
How come our scientists could not find these gene sequence of an organism?
A closer look at the rodent's genome found a heavily mutated section with abnormally high amounts of guanine and cytosine. It turns out GC-rich sequences are difficult to detect, so the researchers missed this mutated pocket of DNA at first. This dark DNA raises questions about how quickly mutations occur and what genes we may have missed when we sequenced other genomes, like our own.
Which is crazy that there could be more DNA in us than we realized, especially when you consider that we only know about 1 to 2% of our DNA and that codes for functional proteins, while we don't know what does the rest of the 98% of our DNA does in our body.
This vast amount of genetic code has also been referred to as DNA's dark matter. Apparently, biologists love the dark matter.
Yes, seems like it is because this is not all. Some of the DNA of the fat sand rat living in burrows and doesn't drink water seem to be missing. When fed normally diet in lab, they became obese and developed type 2 diabetes. Their susceptibility to the disease was mysterious, so a conclusion suggested a gene PDX1 in them was missing. The PDX1 protein function in the development of pancreas and in switching the insulin gene on and off. Along with this, many other genes that were essential for the survival and present on the same chromosome of the other animals were missing as well.
There's an opposite side to biology's dark matter as well. We have found a lot of genes but have no idea what they do. It appears that a lot of this non-coding DNA is still helpful for regulating gene expression, making sure that right cells have the right hardware, like hemoglobin in blood cell precursors and ion channels in neurons. When researchers deleted 4 of these genes in mice, they found abnormalities in mice's brains and wondered if mutations overlooked in non-coding sections of DNA could be responsible for brain diseases like Alzheimer's.
Much of the apparently superficial DNA has an obvious physical function. It allows the DNA to bulk out selected sequences that code for specific elements and expose these sequences so that they can be used. Had the DNA been compact, all the useful DNA would be unreachable, but probably much of the simultaneous has systematic control functions.
This does feel like digging into an endless hole if we are discussing it.
So there is a lot of DNA passed through and there could be even more we just have not found because of limitations in our sequencing techniques.
Yes, exactly. But like we said before, it could mean we're only getting closer and closer.